Yo, 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 yo. What's up? It's your boy Lil Eddie from Spanish Harlem. Right now, you watching Front Row Live. I'm chilling with my main man, Rob. What's up? What's up? What's up? Yeah.
Welcome back to the States, man. Back to LA.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. It's been pretty crazy, jet lag and stuff, but I'm dealing with it. I'm dealing with it. Yeah.
That's what you signed up for, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's all a part of the game, man. It's all a part of the game.
Now, you won't remember this, but it's been a while since we actually met before.
Really? Where?
X Factor season with Carlito
Really?
and Fifth Harmony, and
That's good. Oh,
So-
you know what? We did. Did we do an interview before? Yeah.
yeah, it was short. It was on it was one of those carpets that they do after the shows.
Yeah, you seem so familiar. I was like, man, I thought I spoke to this guy before.
Yeah, it's been way too long.
Carpet, the red carpet and stuff. Yeah. So how you been?
I've been good, man. I've been good. You've been changing it up a little bit. Aside from production and creating these artists, like now you're the artist. New single Island just recently dropped. Let's talk about that transition from being behind the scenes to now being the act, the talent.
Yeah, I mean, well, like a lot of people don't know, but I started as an artist. I was signed to Mario Winans and Diddy, and years back, and then I also released 5 albums in Japan, 5 #1 albums, and I have a greatest hits in Japan as an artist. Toured Germany. I've toured, the world as an artist. I did a lot of features with Yellow Claw on the Diplo's label. Did a lot of shows with them. Made in America with Kanye and Rita Ora, and shows in New York with Fetty Wap with them. So I've always did the artist thing and had my feet like in the artist water. But I've been blessed because I always been a creator and wrote songs and produced records and worked with multiple artists that. It just so happened that it became not only just writing or producing for artists or vocal coaching artists on the show, but being part of history and helping create artists and working close with Simon Cowell and putting that together.
Right.
So, now just focusing a little bit more on the artist side in America is not hard. I think now I just think it's the greatest time for any artist to release their music with Spotify and YouTube and everything just being at your hands and more available. I think a lot of the processes that it took to get your music out there don't really exist no more. I think now you can just release your music and you could set the identity to the audience, to the masses, and you can let them know who you are and your brand, and there's more outlets to show people and invite people into your world as an artist. When back in the day, artists used to be more of a mystery,
Right.
and because social media wasn't at an all-time high like now.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Now, for you as someone that develops artists, like, does that give you more work, or is it now a lot harder because there's new artists every single day that I'm just like, I've never heard of these people and they're on album number 5, So what does that do for you?
Well, I think being an artist isn't a costume. Being an artist as a lifestyle. It's how you walk. It's how you talk.
Right.
It's I always say, stars are stars. When you see when they're not on the stage, what they do when they're not on the stage.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's more than just, I could sing a song very well, or I could dress well, or I could, look good. I think you have to have a testimony. I think you have to, have an original perspective. And I think everybody that knows me knows that, I'm an artist. And for so many years in this industry, the industry has built writers and producers and artists to feel like you're not an artist unless we tell you you're an artist, unless you sign to a major label. Right. Unless we give you your major label certificate, then you're an artist. And a lot of times, artists are signing major labels and they never get to see the light of day.
There's a lot of shelving.
Yeah, a lot of shelving. My very, very first album was shelved. It was called Nobody's Fool, and which is all good because I thought my career was done, and I realized, Germany, I have all these hits, and that's how Japan and everything kind of came into play just by doing music and living my life as an artist and being honest to that. So I think there's absolutely no pressure in me telling my story because no one's going to tell my story better than I could tell it.
Now tell me a little more about the latest single. This is your second single for this year. what was the reason behind the single, and you know, why out of these two singles, like why were these the two that you chose to release so far?
Well, I don't like to call them singles. I like to say that I wanted to start releasing music on Spotify and get the people who may know me or may not know me directed to one place. Okay. There's songs on YouTube that you can find of mine that have 34 million views, that have 5 million, 4 million, all these songs online, accumulated online, 100, 200 million, 300 million views altogether, Lil Eddie views, all from fan base. And it's because, you know, I was one of the first artists that the music got leaked on YouTube, and a lot of hackers went and stole my music through my email and released them, which was a good thing for me now, because it created a sort of fan base. But none of these views are on the Lil Eddie channel. Oh shit! So all these views are scattered. But it created a artist place for Lil Eddie. So when you type Lil Eddie, you're gonna see Lil Eddie come up, and I'm the first Lil Eddie. I mean, now anyone could just be a Lil something, you know. There's so many Lils, but I've always
the original one right here.
Yeah, I've always been Lil Eddie, man. Always been Lil Eddie. But I just think the Lil thing is so relevant now. But that's a whole nother concept. But what I was saying is, like, I just wanted to start releasing records, let people know, you know what, I've always done music. Yeah. And now this is where you can find it, you know, and just start to show people a little bit more of the more polished, more evolved Lil Eddie, like what I feel now, you know what I mean? Because I think I've been very hidden. I didn't release a lot of videos as an artist, and I've got a lot of good success, but it's all been through just being true to the music, working, writing, and writing a song and forgetting about it, working with a producer, forgetting about it, writing with an artist, planting a seed, then it's like, oh, we're using this song, and I'm like, oh, I forgot I wrote that song, you know what I mean? And just ignoring, you know, I don't do this for the fame, I don't do this for none of that. I think that
just the passion that you have for the music.
Passion, yeah. I mean, of course, you want to make a livelihood and live off of this, and I want to show people, you know, that they have someone to relate to. Kids like me that come from nothing, they come from Harlem, Latin kids that are inspired by hip hop, pop, and then their own music, and proud to be Latino and speak Spanglish. So that's why it's just so important right now for me to focus on me and show the world that, you know what, we on a rise, and not this novelty despacito arriba arriba thing. It's like, no, I've had my hands in the pots of Charlie Wilson to Kylie Minogue to Keith Richards from the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, there's no specific genre for you. You've been everywhere.
Yeah, I've been blessed to work with, you know, artists in all genres, and I think the Latins don't know that how much we've also been a part of R&B culture, hip hop culture, dance culture, reggae culture. I mean, I have 10 Grammy nominations, with multiple artists in all different platforms, all different genres of music. Right. And that's because I've always been a part, That's because I've always been a part of the music, and I've always been in the industry, and always looked around and said, man, I can't wait to see more people like me, more my people, more Latinos show up, and not just, you know, someone told me years ago, music is black or white, Eddie, and when you Spanish, when you Latin, you gotta sing in Spanish. And I've always said, that's not true.
That's right.
You know, we are the new America. If you come to my hood, El Barrio, Spanish Harlem, you see nothing but people that look like me. If you come to LA, you see a lot of Mexicans and Salvadorians, and you know, so you know, it's a matter of now letting the people know that we've always been here. Yeah. This fly is killing me. Letting the people know that we've always been here and that we're not going nowhere. You know what I mean?
Right. Now, with the fact that, you know, you've kind of worked with every genre, as far as writing for the artists. Like when you come down and write for your music, like how did all of those genres kind of impact the way that you write for yourself?
When I write music, I really just call it heart music. You know, vulnerable music, honest music, true music. A lot of my songs ain't necessarily about something I went through. Sometimes I'm the narrator. Sometimes it's things I've seen, pain that I've felt, or pain that other people felt that I relate to. Or sometimes I like to look at people. I like to stare at people. I like to be nosy. I like to investigate. And I don't really see genres when it comes to music. The beauty of being Latino and being Spanglish and being New Yorican. So I grew up in New York listening to Biggie and Jay-Z. I grew up listening to Britney and NSYNC. And I also grew up listening to Juan Luis Guerra and Mark Anthony and Celia Cruz and my culture as well. So, and then reggae. I mean, Sizzla and all this. I grew up with so much influence, So it's very hard for me. When people talk about pop or R&B or hip hop, let's get this straight. We're all chasing the same chart. When Drake song gets popping and it goes #1, it's on Hot 100 Billboard, and it's popular. Pop just means popular.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think genres are merging and crossing today. And like I said, we all chasing. Everyone wants to get the hit record, and when there's a hit record, no matter what the genre is, it's all a pop song.
Same place, yeah.
It's all pop.
Yeah, that's very true. Like, what's going on with you, like music wise? What are the plans for this year, or the rest of this year as far as your music?
Well, besides, I'm working with so many artists and doing that, and that's always great. I have some new music coming out. I have a song called Toma coming out. It's a Spanglish song that's going to be releasing in about a month or a few weeks. And then after that, I have another song, and both of these songs have visuals. Okay. They both have videos, more higher production videos. I always wanted to make sure if I released a video that it was to my standing. And I have something really, really big happening, maybe a collaboration, maybe something really insane. But I'm just building and growing, and it's not only about Lil Eddie, it's about the movement. I'm working with this artist named Young Raph. He's amazing. He's a young 17-year-old kid from Spanish Harlem. He's something you never ever would imagine. He's got his own lane, nothing in the industry like him. And he's amazing.
Something fresh for sure.
Yeah, I'm working with Ario from Mix 5. I work with my producer Derek, the 44th Floor. He's featured on a big record in London right now, about to come out. We have this little Latin movement, and we're just we're just doing music. We're having fun, because that's the most important part. And we're focused on the work, and I think everything else, you plant a seed, you build it, and they come. And that's what we're focused on right now.
Right. Now, back to like when you're writing your music, since you've written for other artists before, when you write your own music, are you the only writer on those tracks, or do you also, bring in some co-writers with that?
No, I'm all about making history. I mean, a lot of songs I did place, I was the only writer, a part of them. A lot of songs I started from scratch, inspired the producer, or touched the keys and started working on it. Yeah. But for me, it's a matter of making history. It's about a merge of perspective that creates something great. It takes a village to raise a child, It takes four corners to make a square, And I think that these things are very important when it comes to the structure and foundation of a song. So for me, I don't really care how many people are part of the song, as long as we all on the same frequency, we all passionate about music the same way, and the focus and the goal is to make the greatest song possible. There's no egos involved in the room. So I love to collaborate. I love to collaborate with new people, legends, old people. That's just what music is about. It's a universal language. Right. It's about sharing and collaboration.
Now, as far as your artist development, it's like over the years, as you've helped create these artists, a specific artist would be Fifth Harmony, for example, because that was a group that basically came out as like singles, and then all of a sudden they became a group. So when you do something like that, how difficult is it to create a group out of people that individually wanted to be, solo artists?
It's very difficult. I mean, talking about Fifth Harmony, particularly, like specifically Fifth Harmony, these were 5 young girls, that all came in as solo artists. I think it was very easy for them to get along. They were all excited to be on X Factor. They understood the opportunity. All the girls just wanted to make it, just wanted to win. They all had the same passion for music, each and every one of them in the group. Right. And it was very easy for them to get along. In the beginning, I just knew and felt that there was something very special, and I think everyone else did. Something very organic. If you see the first time they did the judges' houses, Mark Anthony kind of grabs his head when they sing Impossible. That. He's like, I can't believe this.
This is not real right now.
No, it was unreal. And it was one of those things, I think it was more than, it was destiny, Fifth Harmony was destiny. They filled a void. 3 of the girls were Latin. They also sang in Spanglish, It was a beautiful combination. It was like, is something that they all should be very proud of. It's something I'm extremely proud of, to even just have one fingerprint on it, you know, just to put a little fingerprint on it. And you know, in creating the group and working with the group, I've always tried to tell them that, you know, like, this can go all the way to the top. Like, sky ain't even the limit. Yeah. Sky can't be the limit if there's footprints on the moon. Like, I used to tell them, dream
Damn,
big.
that's a new one. I like that.
Yeah, dream big. And if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. You got to keep dreaming. And if you really want to do this, you really want to win. You know, I always told them, try to stay together, do the best to do that. I think that they did a really good job in accomplishing all the success that they have now, and they're all continuing to do music, and they all have also separate journeys. And I pray for the Fifth Harmony come back in a few years.
I'm sure everybody does. I'm
pray
sure.
for that, you know. But they all mean so much to me. They all hold a special place in my heart, and you know, I'm happy to even be able to watch it from, you know, behind the curtain and see if this flower just turned into this, you know, this big old tree, you know, right. and it's amazing. It's definitely something that just like, kind of like, it shows me a piece of my power.
What is next with you? Like other artists that you're working on, are you gonna like fully focus on yourself right now? Like, is it hard to fully focus on yourself when you got so many other lanes that you tackle so often?
Well, I think I'm a strong believer in letting things naturally happen, being organic, you know. And I think that the only thing that can make me a great artist is if I continue to share the music, continue to work with other artists, and learn more about myself and working with other artists. Because every artist is different, you know. But then you realize, well, I wouldn't necessarily say this or sing it this way when it comes to Lil Eddie and what Lil Eddie wants to do as an artist, you know. But I'm all about sharing the music, and even the projects I've been blessed to work on, man. I think it all comes organically. I've never been like chasing a label. Please put me on the project, right. You know. Like it's never been that for me, because honestly, I don't. You know, I think that I know I was just born and chosen to do this. You know, music found me. I didn't go chase music for no reason. I really know that it found me and saved my life, coming from where I come from and being homeless and rescued from a burning building, and eating out of garbage cans with my family as a kid. You know, like, music really found me, you know. So the only thing I want to do is just make great music, if it's for me, if it's for another artist. So, but right now I'm super focused on, you know, Lil Eddie, Young Rav, Ario, Johan Vera, Alondra Sanders. There's like few artists that's a part of my.
That's your bubble.
Yeah, a few artists that are a part of my movement. Okay. You know, because I really want to start this movement, you know, and that is my goal, you know. And I think telling my story, I'm gonna do everything it takes to keep telling the people my story and sing, because I can't. There's no way I could die with all this music inside me and my story left behind. You know, I have to. No matter how much people I write for, I gotta sing my own songs as well. You know, because no one, like I said, no one can tell your story better than you. That's true. No one can speak.
Someone can narrate it, but it's not going to be the same. I mean, that feeling, that passion's not going to be there.
Probably would have been a lawyer if I wasn't doing music, you know, because I got to speak for myself. You know what I mean? I speak up, stand for something, or fall for everything.
There you go.
You know, sometimes I'm like, I say that, but I'm like, you know what? At least
that's how you feel, man. That's how you feel. Now, with these artists that you've been kind of teasing a little bit about, you know, are they artists that we're gonna be starting to listen, like hear new music from, like real soon, or is that like, are they still in that developing stage?
No, I mean, you know, we got the Young Rav video ready. We doing more records on hand. We got a bunch of Ario records going. Johan Vera, he has 1.2 million followers. He's my artist, Latin kid. Bodega House, shout out to Tamayu. That's one of my partners and one of my side things I do. And Alondra Santos as well. Did some records on her, you know, working on that. But Young Rav is like, really, Young Rav, Ario, and Derek for the 44th floor. He's, you know, Derek is kind of like this producer, DJ thing, and he's has his own project as well that, you know, we're going to curate and kind of like put together. And yeah, every time we get together, we just work, and everyone thinks we're playing around, but we working. We working.
You're making stuff happen. You're cooking.
Yeah, build it, and they will come. And I'm just so happy we're not in that time that I used to be in years ago where, people would be too scared to take risks and sign artists, and people didn't put their money where their mouth is. And there's a lot of executives who even lied to me and sold me dreams, you know what I mean? They said a lot of crazy things, and I used to walk out of rooms thinking my life was going to change, and they were just about nothing, And now we don't have to wait for nobody to say you hot,
Right.
They should have never let me in the building. It's kind of like that.
Damn. I mean, social media is definitely taking over for everyone. Now, for those that haven't heard of you yet, like what makes you so different from other artists today?
Well, I was rescued from a burning building at 5. I ate out of garbage cans with my family. Grew up in the projects. I've been robbed by gunpoint. My father cheated on my mother very young, and that's a whole nother crazy story. I was abused as a child. I went through a lot of stuff. I've had to figure out what I liked, what I didn't like. I signed a deal when I was young. Everyone had a vision of what I should be or what I shouldn't be. Was blessed. I wrote a lot of songs with a lot of artists. 10 Grammy nominations in every genre. I'm working as, A&R for a label with Simon Cowell, worked on other TV shows. So I'm doing a lot of things. But I think what makes me different is my story. And that I'm, like I said, music chose me, music found me, and music saved my life. A lot of people today want to do it because they think you could just buy some equipment and, hey, I'll be a trap star. I'll be, maybe so. Maybe you will be. Maybe you'll make some money.
Right.
But
there's no passion.
How many lives, how many fingerprints you leaving on the hearts of people? How many lives are you changing? Right. How long will that last if you blow your money? Or and that's none of my business. I don't really care. Everyone do them. But for me, the goal is bigger than me. It's about my culture. It's about my family. It's about changing the history of my family, breaking cycles, curses, generational curses, touching people, making people feel either mad or angry or loved or happy. Or I just want people to feel something. Yeah. And don't just like me. Love me or hate me. Don't like me. I don't care if you like me. Those people I don't care about.
You need extremes.
Yeah, I need you to love me so much you want to hear what I'm talking about, or hate me so much you want to hear what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the goal is for me, to just really say my story unapologetically.